How excited are you given how the last game against the Bucs went?
That was last year. This is a new year. We're focused on what our team can do now. Tampa Bay had a strong showing against the Cowboys. And, it's going to be tough, just simply because they know who we are. We know who they are. They've now added, Kyle Rudolph and Julio Jones and Russell Gage. At this point, who else can they call in? But we're focused on what we can do as a team, and cards will fall where they be on Sunday because we know we have to go play 60 minutes.
Do you get an extra rush when you do sack a quarterback like Tom Brady, like a big name like that?
Because he gets the ball out faster than everybody else, and if you hit him, he speeds the ball up? No, there is no such thing as if we're getting to enjoy, a quarterback who stands at 7 and then will step up to 5. It's a lot like I don't know which one's more difficult to get a sack off of. A guy like Tom Brady who speeds the ball up, works off tempo, speeds it up, and can know all the shifts you have, or a running back that we played last week. I mean, either way, it's hard to get there.
Was that kind of
Which one? Leonard? Yeah. I mean, he looked great against the Cowboys. Strong, powerful, fast. I think that we matched up well against them. At the same time, we've got to tighten up things on our own side before we really focus on what we have to do over there. Luckily, we still got a couple more days. We're going to do what we need to do, and by Sunday, we'll have all the hay in the barn.
Cam, is that kind of the beauty of it on defense? You know them, they know you, so it's just kind of who can impose what they want to do on the other guy?
I mean, we'd love to see how tough they are rather than how fast they are, because we know they're fast. I saw Chris Godwin get banged up, but by Sunday he might be a new man. He gets a whole week off of practice. He might be healthy by Sunday. We can't focus on what we can't control, but what we can control is how physical and how tough we're going to be.
Cam, how have you personally seen Jameis' response since the way his last year ended, in the dome against Tampa?
You mean the way he turned up this last fourth quarter against Atlanta?
Yeah,
and went surgical on everybody? Yeah, no, I would say that he's responding well. I think that that's a step that we can work off of. Let him continue doing what he does on offense. I think we clearly got ample playmakers, and the way that he took command. You love to see it and love to see that growth. So we'll just keep on striving and do what we do.
Yeah, in today's NFL, it seems like every quarterback's trying to run around. Is it almost just as a defensive lineman that wants to
do you know who we're going against this week?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
There we go. Okay.
Is it almost just kind of nice to be able to say, okay, we're going to go get that guy and he's going to be there?
How you position that one? You think so, but again, Tom Brady is one of the most prolific quarterbacks you're ever going to run into. I mean, the fact that he has 7 Super Bowls, the fact that he's been in the league for 22 years, 23 years. He's 44. He probably started playing at 21.
I think it's 20.
Oh Lord Jesus, impressive. He's seen every defense. You can't really disguise anything against him. He knows exactly where you're going to be. He's watched enough film where at this point we're just playing real ball. And trying to disguise and trying to throw him off if you can. But the fact that he has seen everything, the fact that he knows that he has receivers, the fact that he knows he can check down and get yards, it's probably more frustrating. You probably want to go against somebody who can run around because that's going to come as it is.
No sacks last week. How much was that discussed in meetings this week?
I mean, sort of knew that going in. I think everybody else was excited about it. We knew that we had to contain the quarterback, and even he escaped out 2 or 3 times and went for 76 yards. That's something that you can't allow to happen on a mobile quarterback. You call him mobile, I'm gonna call him a running back. We had a running back and a running back and a running back, and then they had some wide receiver and a tight end that's a wide receiver. So you figured it out. It was some things that we had to adjust to. Whereas this week they've got 17 wide receivers that can hurt you deep, and then you've got a quarterback who is an expert at doing what he does, and a running back that looks like he's top tier right now.
Cam, is the disguise on defense the key to keeping him holding the
I don't
ball
think so.
longer?
Nope. I think he's seen a little bit of everything. I would say you're trying to confuse him, but who are you confusing? It's Tom Brady.
So is it more trying to get him to
Arms getting a little tired, huh?
maybe get him to lose a little confidence in his offensive
You think you can get Tom Brady to lose a little bit of confidence?
in his offensive lineman?
You think you can get Tom Brady to lose a little confidence? You can get Tom Brady frustrated, but I don't think confidence being lost is ever going to be Tom Brady's problem. I think he's already eclipsing his a cumulative salary over his 23 years of football than the next analyst deal that he's going to get, right? Or crypto deal, or whatever. I don't think that confidence is ever going to dip.
It seems like from watching him over the years, just that when his offensive line is not playing well, he seems to, like you said, maybe frustrated is a better word, but
Yeah.
that he has some of his worst games then.
I hope so. I hope Sunday that's the case. We're going to focus on what we can control, try and get after our individual wins and see what happens. I think that they've got some offensive line problems. They've had three new guys now into their offensive line, and I'm not going to see week one though. Now they know what kinks they have to fix out, and it's going to get ironed out. It's not like you don't know that they have the capabilities. They have one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in the game that has seen everything and knows how to adjust. So by week 2, they're not going to be the same as they were last week, and they still look damn good last week.
Cam, how big of a factor do you think it is to be able to get pressure with just the 4 down linemen against him, so it doesn't have to be deciding how much to blitz or
I mean, I think that's going to be huge early on. The more you can try and affect a guy like Tom Brady, the better you're going to end up in the long run. You look past at some of our past games where you've had success, and you've had guys like David Onyemata, Trey Hendrickson, Marcus Davenport, Carl Granderson, Tano Compassion, Double D, get off and get these sacks early on. It bodes well for us later in the game. So it's just something that we have to focus in on, hone in on, and try and get in the back of it.
Is this another one of the games? You've given them shine before, the interior defensive line. Is this one of those games where they have a real opportunity to impact the game?
I think every game is one of those games that if the interior D-line can take off, and they got to focus on, on David and Shai, and then I think the edges will be able to eat a little bit more. I think I've said this probably every year for the last 7 years. Hey, if somebody's getting double, that means somebody's getting single. And win your one-on-ones.
So it seemed like one of the enduring images of the last game was CJGJ, standing next to Tom and smiling at him.
Oh, the last time we played Tampa.
Yeah.
I'll say last game. He was not there.
Just the last time you played. So that not happening this time maybe makes it not as interesting a storyline for us. But what does it do for you guys?
Man, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the 23rd time I played Tampa Bay in my career. Players will come and go, and it's a different locker room each and every time. But that doesn't take away the intensity that you play with. It doesn't take away from what we anticipate to happen. It doesn't take away from what we are working towards. A guy like CJ, I don't even CJJJ. Chauncey is a monster. He's a menace to society when he's on the field, and now he's wearing the fly colors, and we wish him the best. As of week 1, we had to go forward with whoever we have, and I think we're only focused on what we have in building. So does it derail us? No. Does it derail you guys from writing a story about him and Tom Brady? Maybe. That has nothing to do with the 60 minutes we have to play on Sunday.
You're a media member, though, man. You got to have some sympathy for that.
Man, look, I talked to my guy the other day. I talk to all my teammates that leave me. They always just leave. I just have friends that leave. I've been here, though.
Hey, Cam, what do you remember how loud the dome got last year when PJ Anthony was Sept?
I remember the dome being loud the entire time. It's Who Dat Nation. We have these best fans, bar anybody. I mean, I think Atlanta got loud for the first time in 12 years this last game, and that might have been because Big Tigger was out there playing the early 2000 cuts. I don't think he knows anything beyond 2010, but that Bone Crusher, I think we had some Soulja Boy. It was like he might have thrown in some Tupac. Like it was nothing beyond 2005, but it was rocking for a second. Maybe that's what it is. You got to play the older music. They had a DJ before him was out there rocking. It was too new. It was too much Future, too much stuff. Like what I'm saying? I think it was just too new. A lot of Atlanta might be a little older than we think they is.